Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Garden. No, Crow Cottage. I get them mixed up even though, anyway, I don't keep up my Tri-City Crow Garden page much anymore because we're not in the Tri-Cities. This is Springfield, Missouri, and I feel a little awkward but I couldn't make a whole new Facebook page and whatever. People who look at that are just interested in garden stuff anyway, and you know, I was so sorry I didn't have my camera with me this morning when I went out because there were two like wild turkeys going through our yard, and they're big. Those guys better keep running because, man, Thanksgiving's coming. We live out in the county, so even though it feels like a city street, it feels like city. We didn't really know that until after we moved here that we were county land. They probably can be hunted. I don't know. I'm not a hunter. A lot of people here are. Today we are going to do Autumn Toile. That's very pretty paper. I think you're going to like it, and I'm kind of in a rush like I always am. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick us down here and try to get us going as quickly as possible. And I'm not really sure what this light thing is here. Maybe I can fix the dinginess of that side. I don't know it's probably my camera. Oh, there we go. That did help quite a bit, actually, and it was my camera, and now we're all set. I just will try to get us in there. I am going to use a couple of embossing folders with this paper. Now, this is Forever Plaid 3D and Mini Corrugated. I'm sure it's a 3D. It's actually really cool. I had a corrugated embossing folder already, so I never bought this for a long, long time. I don't really know if it's even still available. I don't keep track of that stuff anymore because I expect you to go into the Stampin' Up website, please, and see what they have. The thing is that stuff that's popular tends to sell out quickly. And then the things that should be popular and aren't, and I have no idea why they're not, because I like them. Let me get my sound off here. I'm not seeing comments over here. This is, I'm not really sure why, except for maybe it's because it doesn't like the fact that I might be in the wrong. I am. I'm surprised it even let me come in here because normally it won't even let me come in because it's trying to get me to be one person or another. And since I started this page under my husband's name, Jeff, it belongs to him, and so it doesn't. There we go. All right, so I don't know if I'm going to see comments because now I'm not even logged in here as me. And so it probably won't let me. It's not going to let me. Okay, I don't even know why I even bother to do this anymore. It's like, seriously, I mean, as far as looking at it on the side, because I can't see comments anyway, and that's why, but not the only reason. I do need help in getting my camera up and proper so that you can see things. Oh, and it would actually help if my light was down here too. Wouldn't that be nice? All right, so the cards we're doing are very simple and cute, which is good because Jeff is substituting today. This is going to be out in the newsletter Monday, so you've got a whole week to think about it. But they're very simple. These are just standard cards, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. These are the two I'm going to do because they are the ones that I used my embossing folder with. And then the other two are using the paper because I really like this paper. It's very pretty. But I won't have time to do them. This one's very simple cutout also. You can figure this one out. And this is actually a nice little, die that comes with the dies that I'm using for the layers. Okay, so all of the dies that I'm using for all of these layers are called branching out dies. They are layered dies. They're very pretty, many of them, and this is a nice big one. And it has this nice little pine branch. And it also does have a little hollyberry sprig border and a little tiny pine cone. I didn't use the pine cone or the border, but I am using those. And then the little dots I'm using are called pressed flower motifs. They're metallic, and I did like those, so that's what I'm using for that. And let's see if I can get some more light on here. I think I froze up there, but I'm not real sure because In fact, I'm positive I did. Let me see if I can get my video to run, because it's not. Well, I don't know what's going on with that, and if I don't end up seeing anything there, that is not surprising. It happens. I'll try to see what I'm seeing up here, but I can't get that up any higher and still actually see what's going on there. Let me move my light. Okay. All right, it's very dark today because it's been raining a lot, and it is a dark day. Now, these cute little foxes, aren't they sweet? So I made this skinny little card, and I just took the DSP and layered it. This is, I don't know, I do them different widths. This is probably 3 3/4, yes. 3 3/4 by 7 1/2, I believe. And this is actually an old nested die, but this little flag one, does it come with this set? No. This little flag one is in here. Is it? No, it's not. Oh, I'm not real sure what that one's from. Oh, here it is. Okay, the other dies we'll use today, because I am going to use this one. I really love that one, but the little flag one is from it too. It's called Traditional Labels. So these are the things, if you wanted to make these cards, you will need to purchase. Branching Out, Traditional Labels, and Autumn Toile paper, mini corrugated, and the plaid embossing folder. So here are the papers. This one, beautiful. That one I'm using. They're all really pretty. I really liked all of them. I do really like the back side, but the little deer is so cute. And then the green. And then the pumpkins. Very nice. And then there's just a nice crumb cake on the back. Now here's the foxes that I cut out. This is very Cajun craze-ish. Very, very broad. Very broad. It's like, wow, strong. So instead of wanting that, I just cut out the foxes because I thought that was plenty. And they turned out really cute. And they're not hard to cut out, but it is a little bit of fussy cutting, and that's how I did that card. And then we're going to get started so that we can finish on time here. All right, so this paper probably I'm not using. We again are going to just do standard card size. So I'm going to first of all cut out of my Mossy Meadow. I'm going to cut a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock, and we will emboss that with this mini corrugated one. And then I'm also going to cut out a layer from the branching out from that, and a white layer that's going to be smaller, and then a smaller, well, not the smallest, but the next smallest of that paper. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing for this card. This one I'm not doing. I'm going to put that one aside. And then this one, we're going to cut out the largest die first. We're going to cut it out first because you can't die cut it after you have, Oh ho ho, so I see what I'm going to have to do. This is the largest one, but I actually want my embossing to show out up here. So I will show you what I did to do that. I actually had to just do my corners separate to get it to match this. Okay, it's easy. I'll show you how to do it. And because I need this biggest die is it isn't big enough. So I need to make that larger, but we'll take Cajun Craze and emboss it first, and then I'll show you how I got those lovely lines to show up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with this one, but we're going to try to get everything done when we get the machine going. We'll try to get it all done in one go so I don't have too many things to have to stop. All right, now I am going to have to come over here and see what is going on because my video has like super frozen. I'm like way back. It won't let me catch up to where I actually am. So anyway, I am so sorry. I hope I can see I hope you see everything. The problem with me not being able to see what you see is that when that happens, I start losing my center here, and everything starts to get out of focus and messed up, and I don't even know because I can't see the video. So here's 5 1/2. We're going to cut that in half. I'm going to cut this in half, turning it, and cut it at 4 1/4. And so now we have both pieces that we need. I don't really need this because I will be putting this on a white basic cardstock, you know, card that I've already got pre-cut up here. And then I will save this in my little scrap pile. That's a good scrap. And then I'm going to need my embossing plates to emboss. But before we do the embossing, let's go ahead and cut my Cajun Craze piece as well. So Cajun Craze, I've already got not really a half sheet, it's a little bigger than that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 5 1/2. Well, let's do it this direction. We're going to go 5 1/2 here. Okay, and then we're going to cut it, is that 5 1/2? Make sure I did it right, yeah. And then we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. And then this is the piece I'll be embossing. I do need a piece of crumb cake that I did not even bother to get out. So let me grab a piece of crumb cake out of my scraps here. And I think I have one already cut out. I'm going to check and make sure. It is also 4 1/4 by 5 and nope, that one's not 5 1/2, and it needs to be. Let me try again here. I'll just get a half sheet and cut it. So this one is 5 1/2, and we're going to cut this at 4 1/4. I could not believe that I was seeing what I was seeing. I went out the front door to go tie up one of my clematis vines, and that I noticed was trying to escape. They've been growing so nicely with all of the rain. It's been really nice to have all of that rain. And so I went out there to do that, and there was this big bird that came up on our side yard, and he was so huge. And I've seen turkeys, like I said. If you were looking at my crow gardening page at all, you will have seen that, yes, we have all these wild turkeys. They come up in the greenway, and they're so funny. There's just two. There's a pair of them. Oh, they were. So I saw one, and he came lumbering pretty close to me. I was so sorry I didn't have my camera. And then he went out into the street, and anyway, that was just too fun. Now, I've got my regular base plate that came with this. You do know there's a special, right? There's a special Join Stampin' Up! Offer that's coming in October. You can only do it in October, and there's 2 offers, and if you spend $35, you can get $125 worth of stuff. And free shipping, I believe, and well, maybe not free shipping. Maybe that's the one thing you don't get with that offer. With a second offer, though, you're spending $99. You're getting $189 worth of stuff and free shipping. So that one is the better deal. But at any rate, what you need to do is you get your starter kit, buy up to the $99 level. You can get this machine for you know, in that, and then plus a stamp set and some cardstock or something. I don't know, but I'm not really sure. You would have to figure it out. But that is a fantastic deal. Only available in October. So try to get your lines very straight. I want it to be portrait width and going across. So you can actually line it up with Stampin' Up's line there. And then we're going to see if this sandwich works, because I always forget what sandwich works with what. Feels right. Yes, that is correct. So this is a special embossing plate that I bought that was a little thinner or thicker. I don't remember. It's not the cutting plate. It's my embossing plate. So that's done. And then we're going to put that away up here in my little slot. Hopefully it'll stay and not fall down. And then the plaid one. Now the plaid one is a really large one, super large. Doesn't really matter so much on this one being straight. I kind of want it straight, but it doesn't really matter. But it has lines, so if you just line it up on one of those lines, probably it's going to be pretty straight. And then the other lines you can line up to kind of sorta. Again, they're not, these lines aren't designed to be perfect. So if you didn't do it perfect, it's fine. Now this folder, it says 3D, but it feels a little thinner, but it's still going perfect. This is the exact kind of tension I would expect to feel, and I'm very glad that it worked well, because it's so embarrassing for me to have to go through so many different plates because I'm not really sure what my sandwich should have been. All right, so that one I get put up here in its special, very, very large embossing folders spot. Now to get this to have that white look, I'm gonna turn it over. So I've got this debossed. This is the embossed side, but I actually want this side. It has the larger line is sticking up. And then I'm gonna take my white craft pad. This is a basic white that you buy, you know, from Stampin' Up. Let me get a piece of paper to lay down underneath that so that when it makes its mess, it doesn't mess up my pad so much. I need to buy some more paper. Looks like we're almost out over there from the printer. And then what you want to do is just gently, you're going to rub this on top. Okay, so I'm going to try to go, let's go this way. Okay, and I'm not pushing down too much, just a little. It's not that big a deal. I don't need it to do too much. Now this is very wet ink, and so it's going to stay wet. And I want to be working with it. I don't want to wait around for it for a long time. So I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to just blot it here. Try to dry it off. And if I rub some of it off just to get it dried off, you can see it doesn't hurt it at all. Okay, now so that is perfect. Now I don't want it to be the size of my card because it's going to actually be on top of this card. And so I need it to be just, I need the borders to just be a smidgen. It doesn't really have to be 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to go ahead and do it 1/4 of an inch smaller. So we're going to take this and go 4 inches. Okay, and cut that off. And then we're going to take this side. I think I'll take this side instead. I kind of like that side. And we're going to go at 5 1/4 and cut that off. And now it's ready to trim later because I want to get this one done. This one, I want to keep it its standard size. Okay, so here's my card. The base that I've already made. This is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. And then you're going to just take your glue, and we're going to glue this right on top. And you do need this Tombow glue, especially for the corrugated, because it's got a very rough surface and it won't stick if you're going to use other kinds of glue that don't really glue down well. You want to make sure it's gluing down really well. I'm going to bring this back over because sometimes my glue sort of does a little sticky business on the side as I'm laying stuff on, and it makes a big mess. Okay, so get that nice and even. You can see I cut my card apparently just a little bit on the big side, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that while I'm yapping. Pretty good. We're gonna stick, looks like about 1/4 of an inch too big. So we'll trim that off. That looks pretty good. I could have probably trimmed that a bit. So let's do it while I'm right here. Okay. And again, this was going to have to be trimmed. We're going to trim this 1/8 of an inch. It looks not quite 1/8, but almost. And then my card will be nice and evened up. I'm still showing a tiny bit, but I'll just use my scissors to even that up. All right, so now what we're going to do is take this and use this biggest die for the branching out. Make sure that's the one. Yes, it is. And then I'm going to cut that. Before I cut it, though, let's get everything else out. I also need a little piece of very vanilla. And we're going to cut out a little flag from the traditional labels set. Okay, we're going to do that. And then also I want some white. You could use white for this other part too, but I'll explain as I go why I'm not doing that. So I'm gonna check which dye I need. This is the first layer. The second one's gonna be white. Okay, and then this third one down will be my actual DSP. I'm gonna tuck that back in there and find white. A white scrap would be nice. Do I have a white scrap in here? I thought I did. That's a folded card. I don't. So let me grab a piece of white cardstock. I'm gonna just cut it 5 1/2 and 4 1/4. All right, so now we've got the white one is going to be with this one. And then this one is going to be the DSP. So you want to make sure when you cut your DSP that it is going the direction you want, and you want to make sure your images that you want showing in this are where you want them. Like I want that bird up there at the top. So I'm going to just move my, I want in here. So I am going to cut this little square out right here, and I'm going to kind of lay this in so that I can see exactly how far over I need to cut my DSP to get this image right where I want it. Because I kind of want the pheasant in, I want that pheasant in, I want all those things showing. Okay, so we're going to go like this, so I can see exactly what I've got going, and then I'm going to put my little scrap on the side. Those little scraps are handy to do on the inside of your card too. And now we'll be almost ready to die cut everything. I do have, let's go ahead and die cut my paper for the other card. I'm going to use the pumpkin piece. And then this one is going to get die cut. Oh, from one I think I've already got out. And we also are going to have to get out some more Very Vanilla, I bet. Well, we will see. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. All right, so now let's cut everything. And I'm going to get out my, I should get out my cutting plates that you can actually see through. I've been just using my old ones because they've actually been working pretty well. Even though this one's pretty bowed. It's still working pretty good. They do. This is the one that needs to be kind of flat so everything will stay down nicely. Okay, I do want to see that little pheasant. He's so cute. So we're going to put the die there, roll that through, make sure my paper's fine. All right, so we've got that piece. And that die we can put back. I'm going to put these back as we go because I'm afraid if I don't, I'm going to lose one. Just like I just lost that one. And then this is going to be the white piece. So we'll put that there. Oh, the sun is coming out. I went and worked out this morning, and that was good, but I cut it short, and I shouldn't have. I really was feeling fine. I just felt like it. And then, oh, that goes with that. And then I guess I was anticipating my walk in the park. So I went on a beautiful, nice, long walk in the park. Oh, it was so nice. So this one I don't need, so I'm going to put that one away. The next one is the one I will need, but we're going to go ahead and do this flag, and we're going to use this die from Traditional Labels as well. We're going to cut both of these at once. Okay, there we go. We can get our Very Vanilla, because the paper on that pumpkin, it might be actually beige, but Very Vanilla looks really good with it, so we will use that. You're going to really like that. It's a very pretty little label. And then this little flag is perfect too for various things. So we'll stick him up there at the side. And then our traditional labels we're kind of done with for now. Okay, and my very vanilla, you're pretty much gone. Put you away. And now we're almost done with cutting. Oh, my corrugated fell out. All right, I do need to trim this, but I kind of want to see where I'm going to put things because I want this pumpkin up at the top. And he actually will go pretty well right there, but instead of getting my board out and all, I'm going to just go cut, because I'm not too terribly concerned about wasting this paper. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to have a whole lot of Thanksgiving time for card making left here very soon. Very soon. So I hope you have been getting everything you want because it doesn't take long, and then the time for making the cards is kind of over. So get in there if you want to get this Autumn Toile and get it fast. That one I would not wait for the October offer for, because that, I believe, will be gone super, super quick. I mean, I could be mistaken, but I think it will be. Anyway, so now that one is done, and I think we're all done cutting everything out now with these dies, so I can put everything back in order. We will be done lickety-split. I could not find one of the sentiments that I used for my Happy Thanksgiving, and I was surprised to see that Stampin' Up! For some reason doesn't do the Happy Thanksgiving all that often. I don't know why. So now we're going to take the, where did I put my corrugated piece? There it is. Okay, did we do the die for this? I thought I did. Let's see if I did. Well, we did this, but we didn't do this. So let me cut that out really quick because we do need, it's, I think, the biggest one from this branching out dies. Let's just double check. Yes, that's the layer. So I'm going to do that on the side over here and cut that out of this mossy meadow without you seeing me, just so that we can continue to work quickly. And then, anyway, back to my turkeys. My turkeys were, there was the one turkey went running down the street, and I was thinking, of course, when I don't have my camera out here, this is what happens. Things happen. And then, they're so funny to watch their necks go like this, you know, and as they run, and his neck is so scrawny. Have you ever seen any of those? I so hope you have. Those Warner Brother cartoons. Now, these are all layers that are going to get just glued on. This is the only thing I put a dimensional on. Those Warner Brother cartoons, there's a Tom Turkey one with Daffy Duck, I think. And, oh, so funny, so funny. And anyway, you just have to see it to believe it because it's too funny. This turkey reminded me so much of that Tom Turkey. And then as I stood there gawking at him, I'm sure looking kind of like a turkey myself, I got my clematis tied up, and then I was just about ready to go into the house, but I was still out in there. And the second turkey came along, and that one was even funnier, so funny. So then this one goes next. They just layer really nicely. Let me put my light so hopefully you can see this better. These don't get, I'm not doing any stamps or anything. Just the layers look real pretty together. Very simple. For Thanksgiving, I like to do really simple and kind of, you know, like outdoorsy themed things. So I really liked these dies, and I know I have those rectangle dies that I use all of the time, but those have been retired for a long time, and not everybody has those. So this is a really nice layered rectangle shape that you can use. It's beautiful. Now we're going to take this and do the word thankful on it. In Mossy Meadow, I have to find the word thankful. I didn't get that one out. Seriously. I don't know why, but I kind of like the font on it. So I don't think the font that I have here for Happy Thanksgiving is the same at all. And it doesn't even say the word thankful. And I need exactly the right size of thankful on there. Well, we don't have to do that, you know. We could do just thinking of you, and that will work fine too, because I don't think I'm going to get that on there. Uh-oh, my thinking of you might not fit. Let's see if it will. Yes, it will. Barely, but it will. So this is from a very old set called Quiet Meadow. It's very pretty, and that will work out quite nicely. All right, I'm going to line up my stamp to make sure that my words, okay, they are matching. Sometimes they don't really match my stamp on here all that well. So I check to make sure they are looking like they're matching pretty well. So however you get that label on there. Now, when we are not selling cling stamps anymore, that's not going to be such a big deal. The photopolymer ones are very nice that you can just see right through. But for now, if you still have some of those, you know, it's helpful to line up that stamp so you can actually see the words. Line it up on the line so that you know it's where you want it to be. Okay, so that one is done. Put that away, and then we'll put some dimensionals on that. And this card will be all finished. I did like that thankful, but I think this thinking of you is quite nice too. So that was the excitement today. I did not go on my bike ride, and that's been, there's something about always going to happen. I almost got plowed over by someone going way too fast on their motorized vehicle, and saw what I thought was a moose, but it was actually a big Saint Bernard. Biggest Saint Bernard. I've never seen one, I don't think, in person. I don't know, but it was really big. Very, very gentle dog. Very nice dog. Very pretty. Now, I think, yeah, no, that is, I might have done that in white, but it looks fine in vanilla too. Very nice. Now we'll assemble the other one. That's going to look like this. We can put our crumb cake onto, I'm going to use my very vanilla that's already pre-cut and ready to go. So we're going to put our crumb cake on that. Okay. Put glue. Perfect. And then we're going to take our, we're going to trim this down. Or did I trim it already? Let's check and see. I think I did. It's pretty well trimmed. I mean, I could trim off the sides a little more, but I don't really need to. But I do need to clip these corners. Now, you could just take the die and do corner by corner, but oh my goodness, I wouldn't do that. That would be like so tedious. I do have a corner rounder. I don't know if you have a corner rounder, but I actually have a corner rounder punch. So, oh, that's the wrong corner rounder. I need the one that actually rounds it out the other way. I don't remember how I did that. I thought I had that on that one. Oh, here, no, that's a rounder like that too. That's not, how did I do it? I must have used a circle die or punch. Let me find a circle punch. I've got them all over the place. I just have to locate it. So I have a little tiny circle punch. Where are you, little tiny circle punch? Because that's what I kind of need, is a small one. Let me see what this size is going to look like. This is not that one. Not that one. Oh, that's going to be way too wide. I'm so sorry. I'm having a hard time finding my circle punch. Let me look again. Oh, there you are, right there. so funny. Okay, so it's like a little half circle. It says half on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little teeny tiny circle punch. I better do this side. Now it's not going to exactly be right, but it's going to be close enough. And this is actually pretty small. So if I have a bigger one, and I might, it would be better to use a bigger one. Now you could use anything that's kind of rounded at all. Like, I've got my watermelon. This was a stamp that came with a little fat fruit set. Or a punch. I keep saying stamp, but I mean a punch. And this was the watermelon, and that actually is looking... Oh, but that one's the wrong way too. It's rounded the other way. Oh my goodness. Why didn't I get out this silly little circle? I'm sure I used a circle. And I'm not sure which one I used. Very amusing. All right, now we'll try this one. This is Timeless Label Punch, and let's see if that one will match up at all. Actually, it does perfectly. So I'm going to just put my paper in so that the line is like right there. Okay. Oh boy. This could be a little awkward. I'm going to take my piece here and just lay it right on here where I want it, and then I'm going to match this up. Because, in fact, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to lay this on here as though I have glued it on. And then this being the opposite side that I'm going to glue down, I can actually, I want it to show, so I'm going to put marks where I want those corners to be, because I don't trust myself. And then I'll just go to just a little past that, and we're gonna punch, okay? And this way, we'll see how this works. It should work pretty good and match up our other dies pretty well. You know, as far as how this little corner looks. Now, this is why you don't want to get rid of your things. Keep it. Don't buy so much, and then you can keep it. All right, now we're going to take this. We've got this all put. Make sure I got the card opening correctly. And then this is going to just lay right on there with glue. Ooh, I'm going to have to get some more glue, it looks like. Now this I want to be a little more careful to get all the edges pretty even. Let me have a peek at that bottom one. It's a little bit less than I'd like, but that, I mean, I should have probably cut it down just a little bit more, but it's pretty close. All right, very good. There you go. And now this can layer right on top of that. If you wanted to have ribbon, this is the time to do your ribbon, but it's a little hard to do it with our flimsy DSP. I would put dimensionals on the back and raise it if you wanted to do a ribbon. And that's kind of why I like this label. It looks like a ribbon, and then you don't need to add ribbon yourself. And you can stamp right on it. It's your label and it's your ribbon all in one. I love that. Okay, so because I use those corner rounders, you see how nicely that looks? I love that. It matches those rounding edges really well. You just have to get one that kind of matches the edge. And now we're going to attempt this Happy Thanksgiving. And you know, this is the way I did this before is I just took my, oh, this is very vanilla. Ooh, I bent it. Shame on me. Let me grab my scrap with very vanilla that I heaved out here. We're gonna put our words on here with Cajun Craze. And then I'm going to cut those words out. That way I can get them to line up the way I want them on this label. All right, so we've got, oh, this is a photopolymer. Boy, that sure makes it easy. I used something else on that other one. Okay, so Thanksgiving. There you are. I must not have ever used this Thanksgiving before. Because it's not, Cajun Craze is gonna leave itself on here. It's not gonna completely clean off. So now it's been used, and I'll know that it has been used. I haven't used very many things out of this set, but I did really like it, this Choose Happy set. It's not available anymore, but it was a really nice one. And it has all these nice little words. It doesn't have the word happy, though. Okay, I could put, oh, joy, though, Thanksgiving. That's kind of nice, you know. I could do that. I could also just find the word happy because I'm confident I've got like a dozen of them right here at my hands. Just need to find the word happy somewhere. There's one right there, happy. This is a very old one. Thoughtful banners. It even had these, and I think there's a punch that goes with that and everything. It's pretty cool. It is photopolymer. It's nice. It has blessed. I think that's the one I've used the most. Oh, other than the word happy, I know you're in here. There's so many words, it's hard to find you. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, happy, happy. Have a happy would be good. Oh, come on, I know you're here somewhere. Let's look at this list. It should be at the very top. Have I thrown it away? It probably fell out. I'm sure it didn't. Have a. It should be, I've got, oh, happy day. Oh, there it is right there. Happy. Perfect. I hear Jaffe's up there. So I'll finish here very quickly. I'm doing my video. All right, and then we will get those cut out and put that on there. I did really like this set because it has this piece right there that gives you the ink color that you want. It's a really nice set. I love that one. All right, so now we're done with that. Get this card all finished and be done. Ooh, make sure you shut your ink cases good, because otherwise it'll be troublesome. You know, I could have just stamped those right on instead of cutting out. Oh, let's do it, because they were photopolymers. What am I thinking? Okay, so we'll do happy first. And I should be able to find it pretty easily now. Of course I can't. Yeah, there it is. It wasn't in exactly the same place as the other one. All right, so we're going to put happy right in the center. We can do it crooked. Now, one nice thing about photopolymers that are longer than this, even this little one, I could have curved it slightly so that it matches the curve. I didn't do it because I'm kind of in a rush now, but I could have. Okay, and then choose happy, and there's the Thanksgiving one. And we'll get this long one, little tiny long block out. This is a long word, so we're gonna fix this. So take it and then just move it around. I'm gonna use my glass mat to kind of mold it on here. I'll set this up here so I can kind of see how much molding I want to do. Okay, if you press it down really hard, it'll stick to your it's not though, so I'm gonna have to I'll stick my block down here, all right, and then turn this over and turn this over so it matches the curve, and then I'm gonna try it out and see if I got the curves correct. Pretty close, okay? You do want to move a little quick. It's gonna somewhat be forgiving. There, Thanksgiving. See how you can kind of move your photopolymer to match the curve. Now, if a stamp came with this, if there are words with it, they will be already curved correctly. But, of course, these didn't come with that, so. But that is one of the nice things about that. Those photopolymers that you can, and then I don't have to fussy cut. All right, since I've kind of messed up these edges, I better make sure I have my dimensionals kind of pulling that back together again. All right, and here and here. I do really like this card. It's so pretty. Very simple. I like the little pumpkin patch. I like the colors. It's, you know, the pumpkin pie color is really pumpkin-y and pretty, but I do really like this as well. And then the dots just make it perfect. Open sesame. Is this an unopened one? I know I used some. They must be all at the bottom here. I'm going to grab my little tweezers. I don't think I even used these. I can see right now I didn't. I used, I think, smooth ones. I don't know. They look slightly different. But I do like these. These are really cool. 1. Oops. 2. And you could put another one over there if you really wanted to. But something else would be really nice too. Like if you had, if you wanted to fussy cut a little pumpkin from there, or if you have a little pheasant, or that little fox, you'd be cute there, wouldn't you? I'm gonna take you and put your glue side down so I can get into you easier, because I'm having a hard time here. There we go. So cute. And I'm going to do what I just said, because I think that's going to be super cute. So we'll take our little scrap. I've got a little scrap of the pumpkins right here. These little ones. Let's fussy cut these out really quick. Just these. Okay, it doesn't have to be like a super duper great job. It's still gonna look wonderful. These would be really nice on the inside of your card too. Right there. Isn't that cute? You could put it up there, but I think I'll put it right there. And let's slide you down a bit. So cute. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. And that is that. All right, I hope you had a wonderful day with me and you are feeling good. You are ready for that, the Stampin' Up offer in October. Make sure everybody you know knows about it. Oh man, those lights are so bright. Wow, there we go. No, there we go. All right, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. Bye. Oops. Okay, it's bright.